Holy freaking crappy poo. It's raining crappy poo. Meatloaf is dead. Meatloaf just died. Oh, 74 it says. Man, I just 15 minutes ago did a RIP to Louis Anderson, the comedian, TV show host. And I mentioned he had a cartoon back in the day called Life of Louis that he wrote, directed, produced, voiced, all this stuff. And man, that stinks. Meatloaf, Louis, I liked Meatloaf. Um, I'm not gonna, and it said something about COVID. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't care. But when I was a kid, Meatloaf got big in the early '90s. I think maybe his career went into the late '80s, but he was really big in the early '90s. He had an album called "Bad Out of Hell," and he had a couple of hits that were really like kablamskis. Like Pearl Jam came out at the same time, and with the grunge movement and all that, and he was on par with those guys for a while. Dave went on to have a lot more longevity, but then Meatloaf got into acting as well and has been in a bunch of movies. He was in a Fight Club as Bob. Um, but when I was a kid, my dad listened to Rolling Stones, Beatles, The Doors, Bob Seger, Creedence Clearwater. My mom was listening to Bryan Adams, Rod Stewart, Heart, the Bangles, stuff like that. And I'm 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and I'm listening to what my parents are listening to. And in the early '90s, you get a little older, and the grunge movement was going on, so I was listening to Pearl Jam. And for Christmas, like Pearl Jam's Tin was really big, and this was 1993, and that album came out in '92, something like that. And we would sit there and watch the MTV on the TV. Of course, box screen TV didn't have all the other tech. Everybody just sat down in the living room and watched that box screen TV, and we had a Nintendo and a VCR. But we'd watch MTV, and then when Pearl Jam's Jeremy came on, we're like, what is going on in this video? We didn't know. So we're trying to figure out like a murder mystery. So my mom bought Pearl Jam's 10 for my older sister Sarah for Christmas. Sarah was more into like Vanilla Ice and pop and rap. And so TLC, stuff like that was big at the time. And so she listened to it twice and set it aside. And then my sister Grace and I, who were really big into that kind of music, were like two golems, and we like snagged it. And then whenever she would set it down, I'd be like, snag. And then I'd go listen to it. And then around the same time, Meatloaf's Bad Out of Hell was really big. And so eventually, I think I just, grabbed that Pearl Jam 10 cassette. And I was living in the basement at the time because my kid brother was 1 or 2 and going through teething. And I was sick of being up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I put my stuff in the basement. And I'd go down to the basement with my Walkman and my headphones, and I'd pop in the 2 cassettes I had, which is Pearl Jam's 10 and Meatloaf's Bad Out of Hell, and listen to them over and over and over and over and over again. So, Meatloaf, man. Meatloaf's gone. This is getting crazy, the amount of people passing away, and I'm not talking about the thing that's happening right now, whether that's a cause or not. I don't want to know. I think he said he's 74. And Louis was 74 and Meatloaf was 68. One of the all right, man, that's 2 tough hits today. Louis Anderson, I liked him. His comedy was funny. But that was no transformative big thing for me. Meatloaf, of the 2 albums I had when I was first discovering my own music, for me, not my parents' stuff, my stuff, Meatloaf was one of the 2. So that's a tough hit. And then he went on to do a bunch of acting work, and he was a pretty solid actor. So if you don't know, if you're sitting there going, is he talking about dinner tonight? There, for anybody under the age of 35, there was a singer and an actor whose real name is something, and he went by the stage name Meatloaf because he was a bigger fella. So he was, weighed 300 pounds at a time when not many people weighed 300 pounds. So, and then, he got married, had kids, lost a bunch of weight, really thinned down, and got into acting and was in a bunch of movies and was a solid actor. The thing that pops in my head, because he was in a bunch of stuff, would be, again, Fight Club. If you go watch the movie Fight Club, he played Bob, the guy with the big bitch tits. The guy had, in the story, he had testicular cancer, and so was estrogen levels. Go watch the movie Fight Club. Meatloaf in it. Edward Norton, Brad Pitt, Jared Leto. But Meatloaf, brother, you meant a lot to me when I was a kid. Your music inspired me, and you were great in Fight Club, and we're gonna miss you, dude. R.I.P. to Meatloaf. This is getting tragic. This is getting sad skis. The people that inspired my life as a kid are dropping like flies. Uh, Chris Cornell is gone. Lane Staley is gone. Yeah, damn, Mike Starr. So, Eddie Vedder, listen to me. Eddie, yeah, go live in a tank or something. Live in a bunker. If we lose Eddie, I'm like fresh out of, you know, somebody get a hold of James Hetfield and make sure he's safe. And Eddie Vedder, who's even freaking, it's getting thin. This is like Band of Brothers or something. This is like we're in the Nam and the platoon's getting shorthanded. Jeez. So, enjoy them while you got them. Wow. I'm trying to think of dudes I want to give a shot. Because who was it who did, when this whole string of people dying, it was Trevor Moore. And people pass away all the time, of course, but when Trevor Moore bought it, that was like, God, I love that dude. Not Trevor Moore. Whitest Kids You Know? Look up Trevor Moore and the Whitest Kids You Know. If you don't know, I'm here to let you know. Somebody hype Josh Homme. Holy cow, the dude from Queens of the Stone Age. Where's Mark Lanigan? Like, we gotta watch out for these guys. Jeez. So, and Justin Bieber's doing just fine. He's never been better. The people you can't stand live to be 1,015 years old. Only the good die young. Never have truer words been spoken. Only the good die young. I'm telling you. So, yeah, that's my pity party. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Meatloaf, man. They got Meatloaf. I'm dying inside. I'll see you guys on the next video. Cheers.